Hello everyone and welcome back to another Fallout 76 Weapons Spotlight. Today we're going to check out something a little different for me. We're going to run a Bloodied Railway Rifle. On paper at least, it's big, it's loud, and it does a lot of damage, so it should do extremely well. We'll take it for a spin and see if it's as good as it looks, and what weaknesses it has, if any. As always, I'll spend time at the beginning here going over the weapon and any changes I've made to my build to run with it. If you'd rather just skip ahead to the action, I've included timestamps to make that easier. But let's get started with a look at the weapon itself. Okay, so checking it out here, we've got a bloodied recoil-compensated railway rifle with 50% limb damage, 50 damage resistance while aiming, and of course the bloodied effect, our damage increases as our health decreases. So we'll be trying to run this at about 20% health or lower as we go. The mods that are on it, we've got the automatic piston receiver, so it does make it automatic, so it'll benefit from commando perks. Long barrel is going to give it better range and accuracy. Recoil compensating stock is going to make the recoil much more manageable, although with a weapon like this, even with that, it's still not manageable. The only way, in my opinion, to really use this effectively is to use it in VATS, so that's what we're going to do today. And then we have a reflex sight, which is going to help with the VATS AP cost a little bit. There is no muzzle on it, there's no suppressor on this weapon, so we don't have a way to silence it. So even though I'm running this with a stealth commando character, we're not going to rely too much on stealth, although we'll still try to be a little bit sneaky as we go. We'll talk more about that when we get into the perks. But there is no suppressor, so no muzzle on it. But we can see that the damage is at 295 at low health, so it packs a punch. Let's take a look at my mutations. So what do we have going on here? I've got Adrenal Reaction, which is going to give us additional damage at low health. Bird Bones and Marsupial, so I can jump higher and land softer. That also increases agility. Carnivore, so eating meat has double benefits. Chameleon, which if you've seen these before, I've always said it, I don't understand the point of it. It's pretty useless. There's no point where I've ever seen it activate. You'd have to go way out of your way to get it to really do anything. Egghead for extra intelligence, which is going to give me more XP. Healing factor, so I don't have to use Stimpaks in between fights. Scaly Skin for a little bit more damage and energy resistance. Speed Demon, so I can move faster and reload faster. And of course, I do have Talons on here. I've said it before. Again, it's not particularly useful for this build, but in order to get rid of it, I'm playing Russian roulette with Radaway, and it doesn't really hurt anything. With Class Freak on, it's not that big a deal, so I've just left it alone, although I don't recommend it for your Stealth Commando build. That's going to cover those. Let's move on to legendary perks, beginning with Ammo Factory, which I've got totally maxed out. This is my high-level main character, so I've got that completely maxed out so I can craft as much ammo as possible. From there, we go to Legendary Intelligence, which again is totally maxed out. That's going to give me more XP for anything I do. Higher intelligence is a great thing to have. But more importantly on this build, it allows me to max out Nerd Rage, Gunsmith, and Demolition Expert all at the same time. So while this weapon is not explosive, there are plenty that are, so it's nice to not have to sacrifice there and be able to run both Gunsmith and Demolition Expert at the same time. Third, we've got Legendary Charisma. I've only got 1 point in that. Ultimately, I will be taking that off, moving points from somewhere else into Charisma, and using a legendary perk for that category. But and the reason for that is you can't, when you boost your Charisma with a legendary perk, it does not give you the ability to share additional perk cards. So that's kind of a drawback. So I haven't boosted it up at all, but the timing isn't right yet to change it. I need some more perk coins and some more levels to swap things around. And my first priority was getting Legendary Intelligence maxed out. Now that that's done, we'll figure this out. It's going to evolve as time goes on. Follow through is an interesting one, and it's normally very useful. But in this case, today, probably not going to do a ton for us. What it does is increase damage to our targets by 40% after we land a successful sneak attack. Normally with a stealth commando, that's pretty effective, especially for bigger, tankier enemies. But today, I'm not expecting to land a lot of sneak attacks, so probably not going to be that much of a factor, although you never know. Sometimes weapons surprise me. We'll see how it goes. Rounding it all out, we've got Legendary Endurance, which I have 2 points in, and the main reason for that is that allows me to take Revenant, which gives me extra damage after I get revived. So, not going to come into play today, where I'm going to be totally solo, but under normal circumstances, when I'm running in a group, at events and things like that, if I go down and someone revives me, that gives me a nice big damage boost. So it's a useful thing to have, but not a huge factor today. Rounding it all out, then we've got Legendary Luck maxed out. That allows me to take more VATS critical perks than I normally would, or than I was before we had legendary perks. And that's a good way to get some extra damage now that things changed with One Wasteland. So using those VATS critical perks can really work to your benefit. Moving on to the special build and standard perks, we'll start with Strength. We've got 2 points, and for those I use Bandolier to cut down on ammo weight. Under Perception, we've got Concentrated Fire at 1 point because this is an automatic weapon. So the return on your investment for going from 1 to 3 points is just not very good anymore since they changed how that works. We've got all the commando perks almost maxed out. Only 2 points in Master Commando, but the others have 3. So giving up a tiny little bit of damage there so that I can run both Tank Killer and Ground Pounder maxed out. That's going to help with faster reload speed, better hipfire accuracy, and better armor penetration. Under Endurance, we've got Radical, which is going to give us more strength when we have high rads, and this is a low health build, so I always have high rads. Why not take that perk and boost up my carry weight, and even give me a little more strength if I wanted to fall back to a melee weapon as a backup. Revenant, like we talked about under legendary perks, it's going to give me a big damage boost for a couple of minutes if I get revived by another player. That's not going to come into effect during this run, but under normal circumstances it does. Under Charisma, I've got 2 points in Lone Wanderer, so that'll give me a little more AP refresh and help me avoid a little damage if I start to get shot at. Not a bad thing to have with a big loud weapon where I will probably get detected often. And then of course 3 points in Tenderizer, so after we hit a target, it's going to take extra damage. Under Intelligence, Nerd Rage is going to give us a little more damage at low health. Also, some more AP refresh and some damage resistance, which isn't a bad thing to have. Demolition Expert and Gunsmith. I like running both of those at the same time. That's why I maxed out that legendary perk to do that. Today, this weapon is not explosive, so Demolition Expert isn't doing anything for us. But under normal circumstances, that's a good solid damage boost, and an explosive weapon whittles down your weapon condition much faster, so being able to run Demo Expert and Gunsmith at the same time is very valuable. At least it's valuable to me. Jumping into Agility. So normally here this is a Stealth Commando. So normally I've got 3 in Sneak, 1 in Escape Artist, and I've got Covert Operative maxed out. I'm not expecting a lot of sneak attacks today, so I'm not really worried about Covert Operative. I'd rather run Action Boy, which will give me even more AP refresh than I already have, so that if we end up draining our AP in VATS, we're going to be able to recover that very quickly. If we get lucky and can land some sneak attacks, that's great, but the 2.0 multiplier with a weapon that does as much damage as this does is probably going to be just fine. So we still got it. We've still got Sneak. We've still got Escape Artist, so I can sneak around. I can help avoid being detected. So tactically speaking, the Sneak build is still there, but I'm not going after the damage today. Gunfu is maxed out. That gives us a little bit of a damage boost when we automatically swap from one target to the next. Adrenaline is maxed out so that we get more damage as we take on bigger mobs. So modified the Sneak build a little bit, but not to a huge extent. This is still largely a pretty standard Stealth Commando build. Under Luck, I've got a hodgepodge of VATS critical related perks. We've got Serendipity to avoid damage at low health, Bloody Mess for extra damage, and then of course Class Freak and Starched Jeans so I can keep my mutations and reduce their negative effects. From here, that wraps that up. Let's go to the Whitespring and start killing some things. All right, heading on into the golf club. My guess is that just like any time I take a big loud weapon in here, I'll find a way to get myself killed. Let's see if we can get lucky. Let's highlight the head. Gun Fu doing its thing. That is very effective. And even though I have an automatic receiver on here, there's still plenty of control to only shoot one at a time. So you don't have to dump a ton of ammo into your targets. And there's the reload, and there's the death. Yep, stuck in the reload. So we were looking for a weakness. Number one weakness is me being lazy and not really worrying properly about taking care of myself. But the other weakness is the low ammunition capacity. You've only got 10 rounds in this thing. So, and it's not a super quick reload. So if you have enemies on top of you, which is possible because it's big and loud, then that is something you want to watch out for. But even though it's big and loud, the ghouls here at Whitespring are still sleeping through most of this because they're just very, very lazy. But so far, one-shot kills all around. You can see with the VATS criticals, the damage on a headshot will blast through the roof. And I am staying relatively sneaky here. Okay, so 2 torso shots. But headshots, we're taking them out in 1. I can live with that. Except for this one, where VATS just decided not to work. Okay, so far so good. Now we're detected. Can we survive? And VATS doesn't count. VATS doesn't count. VATS doesn't... Oh, God. Okay, there we go. Now it's dead. All right. I don't know if that was VATS not counting or if that was just caught in the middle of that regeneration. VATS is vastly improved since Steel Dawn, but it's not perfect yet. There are still definitely some weird little bugs with it. Okay, we'll hunt down this guy behind the pool table. He's gone in 1 shot. Let's head downstairs. All right, and again, another 1-shot kill with a VATS critical. Take that all day long. Do a little tactical reload before I walk into the pro shop here, where these guys tend to mob me and kill me. And that one was easy enough. And we're back in caution. So this weapon, while yes, after a couple of shots in close proximity, we are getting detected, it's not a dead giveaway kind of weapon. We are still managing to maintain some stealth, which is giving us extra damage, but it's total overkill damage. This is, it is not necessary to be in stealth to do a ton of damage with this weapon, but it certainly doesn't hurt. All right, and you're dead. Let's go after the glowing one. Okay, so a couple of rounds. Our automatic barrel definitely, or automatic piston rather, definitely came in handy. Uh-oh, here we are in the reload. Come on, there we go. All right, and more are coming, and another one yet. Okay. All right, they're coming from, they are coming out of the woodwork after me here. I don't think I've ever seen this many come rushing at me downstairs. They must have all come running in from outside, which is just fine. That'll speed up our transition over to the deep. Says I'm still in danger here, but there's nothing else around, so let's jump into the deep and kill some commies. All right, I'm expecting this to be just as effective here as it was in the golf club. But we will probably get detected. All right, 1 shot. Okay, so we need 2 shots on the 75s. Get a VATS critical on the soldier. All right, so we still need 2 shots on the level 75 Liberators. They've got some serious armor going on. So they're definitely a little tougher to take down. Still in caution. All right, just assess the situation and move forward. Now we're detected already. Okay. So this is, our stealth is behaving a little bit strangely in here. But that's okay. We'll make do. More Liberators. Goodbye to you. Goodbye to you. Now we've got a little adrenaline going for us, and that's going to boost up between adrenaline and gun fu, taking out those 3 all in 1 shot. Nice and easy. Now remember, with the railway rifle, you can recover your railway spikes if you want to be stingy with your ammo. Get you down. Okay, so we need 2 shots on the legendary. Not shocking. Saw the same thing with the ghoul. And 2 more, and look at that. Gunfu just swaps right between the two instantly. I'm really, really liking how Gunfu works. Since the Steel Dawn update, it's VATS is still imperfect, but when you see little things like that, it's pretty cool. What do we have going on out here? Anybody hanging out down here? We've got our missile sniper just out of reach. All right, that's okay. We'll climb the fire escape and murder him up there. Sneaking our way upstairs. There he is, and there he goes. Nice splatter of red paste. Bloody mess does its thing. This is pretty satisfying to kill things with. I will give it that. And you gotta love the railway rifle. It's very unique. It's got its little railroad horn sound. Gotta love it. And that is perfect. You are gone. Your hat is floating. That's fine. And how about you? One-shot kill on the power armor commander. Gotta love that. So this weapon definitely is delivering the power it promises. You've just got to be mindful of the ammo capacity and how vulnerable you might be when you're stuck in a reload. So something like Quick Hands might be a good perk to run with this, but it might also give you a little bit of a crutch that you shouldn't rely on, because then when it doesn't work, you could be at a disadvantage. All these guys are going down nice and easy. Let's head up the stairs and see what other trouble we can get into. Okay, we got one hanging out there. Goodbye, you're dead. Take our railway spike back and some stim packs. We're in danger, so let's keep an eye out here. There's usually a few upstairs, including one in power armor. We'll give them a chance to see if they come down the steps after me. But so far, no. They all seem to be hanging out up here. That's critical. Should do the job. There it goes. And we have one or two hanging out up here. You're dead. And you're almost dead. Now you're dead. And you're stretchy. Okay, that's a fun glitch. I haven't seen that since the first couple of months of the game. So there we go. We have Stretchy Kami. All right, let's move along. Wow. Okay. Let's head to Solomon's Pond and see what we can do with a Behemoth. Okay, now this weapon has allowed me to be much sneakier than I expected. So we're going to try and land a sneak attack here to get follow through to activate. And I wonder if this won't be quick enough to just kill him before I even get detected. We'll find out here. Let's sneak up, land our sneak attack. So follow through should be ready to go. And we'll hold down the trigger. Look at that. So what's that, 6 shots total? Were we fully reloaded when we started this thing? I don't know. Maybe we were. Probably. That was pretty badass. Nothing like killing a behemoth in 0.3 seconds or less. I'll take that all day long. This weapon's definitely fun. Let's head to a Fissure site. All right, and the one we're at is the one up on the northeast corner of the map near Vault 79. That's critical you. You're still a little far away. Let's see who else we've got running around here. Scorchbeast is still not seeing us. Oh, that's right. Mrs. Claus. All right, Mrs. Claus scorched for about another hour as I recorded this. It'll be, that event will sadly be over by the time you see it, but those were definitely a good time. We have just Mrs. Claus here, no Mr. Claus, and no Mr. and Mrs. Claus's lawyer running around, but we'll take one or two when we can get them. Scorchbeast is making very poor life choices by landing on the ground. And look at that. That just, wow. Okay. So yeah, I was curious to see what this would look like with a flying Scorchbeast, but I'll take it. Let's go to Huntersville. All right, we'll start off with some floaters. And we need 2 shots to take out floaters. Interesting. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Still very effective. We've got plenty of range on the weapon, but I'm surprised by that. I expected them to go down in 1 shot, but that's okay. We'll head up here and take out some super mutants, see if we need 1 or 2 shots on these guys. My guess is the lower levels will go down in 1, the higher levels might take 2 or 3, but we're dealing a lot of damage with this thing, so we should be good. There's a level 50. Long range with a VATS critical, over 1,000 damage. He is down in 1 shot. That's going to do it every damn time. Who else do we have running around here? Where's your dog? That guy's always got a dog. He doesn't have a dog. Okay. So I'm going to have to watch out because his dog's going to come out from somewhere and bite me in the ass. And here we go. Okay, we need 2 shots on you because we didn't get a VATS critical. We did on the second one, but not on the first one. That's okay. We'll head on into the town square. Where are you? There you go. There's your VATS critical. And he's down. And he's down too. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This thing is working just fine. A little bit of a tactical reload. Keep an eye on your ammo capacity with this one. If you have a chance to safely reload, take it. As we saw in the Whitespring, you can get mobbed in the middle of a reload, and that's no fun. And you're down. Little VATS critical action. Okay, 2 shots on the level 100 Hound. He's down. So yeah, so pretty much what we expected. The lower level mutants are going down in 1. Higher levels need 2. Unless you've got a VATS critical lined up, then that'll take them down in 1 shot. So with a weapon like this, using your VATS critical perks can be very beneficial. We'll have 2 guys hanging out upstairs. Where are you? Here we go. I want to line this up nicely. No, what am I doing? Okay. You're down. You're down. 2 shots. Okay, easy enough. We'll head out the road leading out of town here. There's always usually a couple more and another Hound down the road. And then we'll talk conclusions. Where are you at? There's a mutant and a VATS critical, and he's dead. Where is your dog? Nope, don't see the dog around. Interesting. I swear, these dogs are going to come out of nowhere when I'm least expecting it and bite me and kill me. Because that's what they do. But it looks like we're all clear, even though we're all clear, and we're apparently very stretchy again. Okay. Well, we'll see how that goes. I haven't seen that bug for a while, and now all of a sudden I've seen it twice in one run. So we'll see what that, see if that bodes well for the next few weeks of the game. Let's talk conclusions. So, is this weapon good? Yes. It's fun to use. It's very unique to Fallout, which really makes it stand out, and it kills things very, very, very quickly. Could anything improve it? Sure. I'd be interested to see how a quad version of the same weapon would perform. The main drawback to this one is the limited ammo capacity, so a quad version would help alleviate that problem tremendously, and like we saw, for the most part, we were doing overkill levels of damage anyway, so giving up a little bit of damage in exchange for better ammo capacity is probably not going to be a problem on a weapon like this one. The only other minor gripe I have with it is ammo crafting, but it's a minor complaint. Even with Ammo Factory and Ammo Smith maxed out, you only craft 13 railroad spikes at a time. Fortunately, it only requires steel to make the ammo, so no lead farming, but it still adds up quickly enough that it'll make you think twice about running it all the time. But that shouldn't put you off from running the weapon at all. It's just so much fun to use that totally makes up for it. So yeah, in conclusion, for a good time, call this weapon. Keep an eye on your stealth status, watch your ammo, and you'll have plenty of fun running around murdering things in the wasteland with this one. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is gonna wrap up this video. As always, if you had fun, found it useful, or anything in between, go ahead and get subscribed, hit the like button, or leave a comment so you don't miss out on any of the Fallout 76 content I upload every week on the channel. Till next time, I'm Fisty McRib.